Hey guys! Welcome to the What Happened channel. Today, we're going to talk about a topic that tends to generate a lot of controversy: serial killers who have been released from prison. Who are they? Where are they now? Let's find out together. First, let's talk about the German Manfred Seal, who was arrested in 1969 for the murder of 3 women, but was released in 1993 after serving his sentence. He moved to England, where he lived until his death in 2014. Charles Sobhraj was a French-Vietnamese serial killer who killed at least 12 people in the 1970s. Sobhraj was arrested in Nepal in 1976, but managed to escape from prison and remained at large for many years. He was finally recaptured and sentenced to life in prison in 2003, but was released in 2017 over a legal dispute. Sobhraj, now 77 years old, lives in France and is known as the Bikini Killer. Italian Pietro Pacciani was convicted of murdering 16 people in the 1980s, but his conviction was overturned in 1998. He died a short time later, before a new trial. Kenneth McDuff was convicted of the murder of 3 teenagers in the 1960s and released in 1989 after serving 23 years in prison. McDuff returned to committing crimes, including the murder of a woman and her 9-year-old daughter, and was arrested again in 1992. He was sentenced to death and executed in 1998. Another case was that of David Parker Ray, known as the Toy Box Killer. Ray was convicted of kidnapping, torturing, and raping several women in the 1990s. He was released in 2002 for a technical error in his judgment, but died shortly afterwards under mysterious circumstances. Many of Ray's victims were never found. Pedro Lopez, also known as the Monster of the Andes, was convicted of the murder of more than 300 boys and girls in South America in the 1970s. He was arrested in 1980 and sentenced to life in prison, but was released in 1998 for good conduct. His current whereabouts are unknown. John Martin Crawford was convicted of murdering 3 women in Canada in the 1990s. Crawford was sentenced to life in prison but was released in 2019 after serving 28 years in prison. His release sparked great controversy and public debate about the possibility of serial killers being rehabilitated and safely released. Finally, let's talk about the case of the American Joseph Christopher, known as the Columbus Shooter. He killed 12 people in the 1970s, but was deemed unaccountable for his mental illness. He was committed to a psychiatric hospital and released in 1998. Christopher died in 1993. It is important to point out that, despite being released, these serial killers are considered to be highly dangerous and must be avoided at all costs. They can pose a real danger to society, and it is essential that the authorities are aware of their movements. Well, folks, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video and that you learned a little more about serial killers who were released from prison. Don't forget to like and share with friends. See you next time.